What's going on, YouTube? I wanted to make one more video on this topic, and it seems like this is very much, pretty much been trending for the past 24 hours. Seems like everybody's getting on Scottie Pippen's case because he made a critique about the difference between LeBron James and Kevin Durant's game. Okay, now I'm gonna get into that in a second. Now it seems like to me Scottie Pippen, hands down, top 50 player of all time. You know what I mean? I think with the combination of what transpired in the last dance, plus the years prior to that, where people were saying he was a Robin to Mike's Batman, Michael Jordan's Batman, and he was insignificant and he was soft. I think there's some kind of there might be some resentment with Scottie Pippen. You know what I mean? Scottie Pippen, came into the league, was the number 5 draft pick in the 1987 draft, right? And he didn't. It wasn't like, okay, he was a high draft pick for a reason, you know. And I'd say I wouldn't call him a superstar out the gate, but I would say he was somebody comparable to somebody like Jerry Stackhouse. Jerry Stackhouse, you know what I mean, came, but only thing is he was more low key because he went to a smaller college. Central Arkansas, nobody heard of Central Arkansas because it was in the middle of the goddamn country and shit. But anyway, his career trajectory was Jerry Stackhouse. The difference was Scottie got better, you know what I mean, and Jerry Stackhouse stayed at the same level where he was at. Scottie got better as the years went on, you know what I mean? And thing about it is, I think that over the years that he feels kind of slighted because he didn't get the accolades and the adulation that Mike did. But then, that's a personal thing between him and Michael Jordan. Now, I'm not gonna go there and shit, but I think the thing that pushed him over the edge over these years, you got clowns in the media that started diminishing this guy and made it seem like Michael Jordan won those championships by his goddamn self, which wasn't the case. You got Skip Bayless out here. He's a joke, right? Nobody takes what he says seriously anymore. He's not. I don't even consider that motherfucker a journalist. Stephen A. Snitch, Chris Broussard, Rob Parker, all these dudes, and they're the ringleaders in all this shit. Okay, they're the ringleaders trying to build up Michael Jordan's trying to diminish Pippen, diminish Scottie's resume, just to make Mike look greater than what he already is. You don't have to do that shit. You ain't got to do that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Mike stood out on his own. His greatness stood out on his own to where you didn't have to diminish his teammates to already know he was already great. But thing is, though, like people, this idolization and shit, it's like they got to people's heads, man, and everybody's starting to believe this shit. I had one guy out here talking about Scottie was a role player, was a goddamn role player. Can you believe that shit? And you have millions of clowns on YouTube trying to implicate that shit. Like Scottie, didn't make the all defensive first team 7, 8 years in a row. Scottie was second in MVP in 1994, the year after Jordan retired. Michael Jordan retired, okay? So all this revisionist history just to prop up Mike Moore is bullshit to me. And anybody, this book he's coming out with, I think, me personally, it's just his frustrations with the media more so than what actually happened when he was with the Chicago Bulls and a teammate of Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? I think this book is more in response to the media that shitted on Scottie, in my opinion, you know? And it's to the point now where people actually believe Michael Jordan won those championships by himself. And whenever a player like LeBron James has a shortcoming or he wins the championship, they're going to diminish him anyway because he's so-called he can't win on his own. He can't win championships on his own. When the fact of the matter is, every great player needs help. You know? Every great player needs help. You name it. You go up and down the list. You go up and down any great player, past and present. No great player, no matter how great you are, no matter how great you do, you're not going to win a championship on your own. If that was the case, then Michael Jordan would have won a championship in 1989. LeBron James would have won a championship in 2007. Kobe would have won a championship 2 years after Shaq left. 2 years after Shaq left, Kobe would have won a championship by himself. But you got people in the media where, oh, you got this killer instinct. Oh, he ain't a killer. Oh, he ain't clutch. We done got so wrapped up in this bubble, man, where this bullshit exists to where we forget what the hell happened. It actually happened in the past, man, and it's poisoning itself in the media, you know? Like, this whole thing, man, I'm telling you, I sound like a broken record, man, but it just seemed like to me, the media using Scottie as a punching bag to prop up Jordan more, which is bullshit to me. Always been bullshit. And this bullshit started with Skip Bayless years back. So, do I blame Scottie for like clapping back at the media and shit? No. No, I don't. No, I don't. But at the same time, like, is Scottie wrong in saying he was the leader of the Bulls, right? I would have to say, look, listen, man, listen, check this shit out, okay? I wouldn't went as far as to say he was a leader, but to say he didn't have no impact, he had no kind of impact on those 6 championships, I still say that's bullshit. Now, if you say to me that who was more of a leader, Scottie or Mike, hands down it was Mike. Hands down Mike was the way better leader, you know? And you know, it's not like Pippen didn't have his flaws. He did. He did. But at the end of the day, it's like people just now it's like they want to shit on Scottie Pippen to prop up Michael Jordan. That's my main gripe. And you know me, I still think Michael Jordan's the best ever. You know? But this revisionist history, people, the only argument they can use in a Michael Jordan argument, I can name X amount of dozens of things on why I think Mike is the best. Michael Jordan is the best ever. But you got these casuals out here who haven't watched the game, only watch his highlights here on YouTube and shit, right? They only watch these highlights on YouTube. This is all they can say is 6 rings and killer instinct. That's the only argument they can come up with. That's the only argument they can come up with, man. And those kind of people, they haven't watched 2 hours of basketball straight through. And if they say that, they would know it's more to that. It's more deeper than that shit. They don't talk about the 10 scoring titles. They don't talk about scoring 63 against the Celtics. They don't talk about averaging 37.1 in the 1987 season. They don't talk about winning Defensive Player of the Year and MVP in 1988. They don't talk about having the highest points per game average in the NBA Finals in 1993. They don't talk about that shit. All they talk about is the 6 rings and the goddamn championships. And the media is toxic, man. The media is toxic with this shit. The media is very, very, very toxic with this shit, man. You know? Now I know Scottie can flip-flop at times, you know what I mean? And that's the one thing I'll criticize him for. You know? Like one day he'll say LeBron is the best ever, then he'll go back to Mike, he'll throw Kobe in there, you know what I mean? That's the one thing I'll criticize him for. But I won't criticize him for clapping back at the punk-ass media. Because you got some disingenuous people in the media that's disingenuous. And they got agendas, man. And they're going off a narrative and shit. You know? So for me, hey, this is a response, man. Scottie, this is a response more so, I think, to the media that shitted on him more so than Michael Jordan. You know? I don't think this book is a diss towards Michael Jordan at all. I think this book right here is coming out is a diss more so to the media and the dick riding fanboys that use monetization to prop up a player and shit. So, you know, end of the day, I'm not mad at Scottie, man, for that, man, because he's clapping back at the narrative, you know, created by the punk ass media and these dick riding fanboys. Now, his whole thing with LeBron and KD, he's right. All KD did was score the basketball. You know, he didn't get his teammates involved. Yeah, he had a high rate of assists, but his impact on the game wasn't the same. KD is a pure scorer, okay? KD's a pure scorer, you know? And he's not going to facilitate. He can facilitate, okay? But he's not going to be a facilitator in all-around play like LeBron. He's not going to impact the game on those. He's not going to impact the game on that kind of level, you know. And I don't play in what ifs or this would have happened or that would have happened. But what I do know is one last time, KD is being propped up as some hero for losing in the second round with a super team. Yeah, with a stacked team, but yet LeBron is getting shitted off for losing in the first round. Ass backwards commentary, man. These are the same punk ass medias that shitting on Scottie Pippen, you know? And for me, like I said before, once again, man, the media shouldn't be trusted. Even people like fucking Bill Simmons, Jackie McMullen, what do you call it? Mark, what is his name? Mark Spears? That's what his name? Yeah, all these guys have an agenda, man, in the media, man. Like, straight up. And these clowns here on YouTube are worse. And y'all know who I'm talking about. But I just wanted to rant for a second, man. You know what I mean? I mean, this whole thing involving Scottie, involving KD, involving LeBron is all bullshit to me. And people are going to use this as just another way to diminish LeBron and prop up KD and diminish and prop up Michael Jordan even more. I mean, it's all bullshit to me, man. It's all bullshit to me. And like, people need to start to see what the hell is going on here, especially on YouTube. I mean, it's bullshit. It's bullshit to me, man. Like, but hey, maybe I move different, man. Maybe I see it in a different way and shit, you know. But hit the like, subscribe, and tell me what y'all think.